This would be Norfolk Police. Norfolk, Nebraska. I'm about to go in and ask some questions about the death of Mr. Andre Murphy back in January 2015. Don't believe I see any signs saying that we can't film.
Hi there.
Hello, sir. Should let you know that I am recording. I was curious if there was an officer in charge of training or perhaps a supervisor that I could ask a question of.
I do some of the training here. I'm not in charge of it. Maybe I can answer your question.
I was curious whether or not Norfolk Police Department has ever received any training on recognizing and handling excited delirium.
To a degree, yes. You know.
Was this before January 8th of this year?
Yeah.
What type of training did you receive?
Have you talked to the Captain Bauer, and he'll explain some things to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. What's your name, sir?
I didn't come to answer questions. I came to ask them.
He's going to want to know who he needs to come down and talk to.
The man in the lobby.
That. What's up with giving your name?
What's up with asking for it? It's unless I am suspected that I have committed a crime, am about to commit a crime, or have committed a crime, I am not required to provide my name.
He'll be right down. If you want to have a seat over there on the couch, he'll be right down with you.
Thank you, sir. May I have your name, sir?
It's Officer Heller.
And your badge number, please?
10.
Thank you, sir. I hope so. I have turned on my video camera.
Okay.
I was curious, sir, whether or not Norfolk Police Department had ever received any training on recognizing and dealing with excited delirium before they encountered Mr. Andre Murphy. You had. Mm-hmm. What type of training did you have,
and
may I ask?
what is the reason I should go into that with you? What's your name, sir?
I am a citizen who is concerned, and I was curious as to the training that you have received.
Okay. We have received appropriate training. That's all been investigated by the grand jury. The information has been provided, and there was no wrongdoing on the officer's part. The officers followed all the procedures. They followed all the policies. And I'm questioning what your concern is with this.
My concern is that a citizen died after coming into contact with law enforcement in less than an hour.
Yes.
That is my concern.
Okay.
And my concern is whether or not they were properly trained to deal with someone with excited delirium.
Yes, they were properly trained.
And I'm curious what training you received and how you determined that it was. You see, the thing that bothers me the most is the statement by the chief of police that says that they did less than they were trained to do and less than they could have done.
Less than we were authorized to do, yes. There's use of force guidelines, and in certain circumstances, officers are allowed to use a certain amount of force. In this situation, the officers used less force that would have been authorized for them to do. They used less force, meaning they restrained themselves and used less force than what the law allows.
Well, that's not what he said. He said they did less than they were trained.
Less than they were allowed. Well, they're trained to use a certain amount of force.
And
They use-
they used less force than they were trained to use in this situation.
Yes. Are you trying to create something that's not there? I'm trying to understand. This has already been investigated and done. If you're trying to create
let
an
me
issue
explain
that
to you.
isn't there-
If you're having difficulty in understanding, try to focus on simply the questions that I ask and not why I'm asking them, because that is none of your business.
It is relevant, and it's
It's not.
yes, it is. Law enforcement training is not necessarily your business.
Oh, law enforcement training is indeed my business. I am a citizen,
Okay.
and my taxes pay the salaries, and it is indeed my business the type of training that you receive. And to say that you used less than your training would have authorized or told you could use, I believe you are mistaken in that, because I do not believe that
Well, I'm
tasering
also-
someone, the proper procedure would be to immediately call EMS. That is what was in the FBI bulletin issued in July of last year.
The proper procedure would be to do, okay.
Immediately call EMS.
Tell me again what your understanding is.
My understanding is that in the FBI bulletin issued July last year, they state that EMS should be immediately called to deal with the situation.
Which situation?
It is a situation of excited delirium.
Okay. Who makes the determination of excited delirium?
The officers.
You know, there's certain indications that indicate
And,
things.
yes, when someone is delirious.
Okay. And how do
And
you know?
this is where your training should
and
fall
how do you
in.
know when EMS was contacted? EMS was contacted.
Were they contacted before he was tasered?
You don't contact people before they're tasered.
You don't contact people before they're
You don't
tasered.
contact EMS prior to somebody being tasered.
You don't.
No.
Why not? If you
In the middle of a violent situation, we're not going to bring rescue people into a violent situation until the person is under control.
and that's per your training.
Yes.
I believe you have been improperly trained, according to the FBI.
Well, FBI doesn't set our training guidelines.
The FBI does not set your training guidelines. So
FBI
whatever
sets
the
your
FBI
training
says should be followed as policy is,
I'm not saying that. FBI is a federal organization.
yes.
We are not a federal organization.
Do you receive bulletins regularly from the FBI?
Certain ones.
Certain ones. Well, on their website it says bulletins, period. It doesn't give you an option.
No, I don't know what else is available with the federal FBI bulletin.
Oh, just about everything.
No, that's fine. Do you have any specific questions that I can answer for you?
I believe you've done quite enough, and I would like to issue a FOIA request for any and all documents stating the names of any and all city police department employees that received training for excited delirium, as well as the information used in training and the dates of the training.
I'm not going to provide you with
I also hereby do request copies of any and all video and audio of the City of Norfolk Police Department employees' involvement with Andre Murphy at the Super 8 Motel on that date. This is a legal FOIA request.
I'm not going to take that. If you want to make any requests for documents, you can contact the city attorney for those requests.
I am allowed by Nebraska law to issue.
You haven't even told me who you are.
I don't have to tell you who
And
I
I
am.
don't have to release any information to somebody who I don't
You
even
do
know who
not, but you are required to accept my request, and you are required to respond within 4 business days.
I'm not going to accept your request, first of all. You can address that with the city attorney. And if you're going to have an attorney contact, your attorney contact the city attorney.
I have no attorney.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'm not going to accept it.
And why will you not accept my request,
I don't
sir?
even know what it is.
I've told you what it is. It's a FOIA request.
You won't even tell me who you are.
I don't need to tell you who I am for me to make a
Do
public
you have any other
request.
questions? Do you have any other questions that I can answer for you?
I would like to know your name and badge number,
My
sir.
name is Captain Don Miller. My badge number is 23.
Thank you, sir. I would like to submit a FOIA request.
Okay, I'm asking you to leave the station at this point.
You're asking me to leave your
Yeah.
station? I'm asking this lady.
These people don't have anything to do with that. You can contact the city attorney. You can look up the phone number and contact the city attorney.
You're awfully close to me.
Am I making you nervous?
You are.
I'm asking you to leave. It's time for you to leave.
And that reason is?
I've answered your questions. You have no more business here. You need to leave.
I was going to issue a request.
This is secretarial person.
It says records. It says
Yes, it
records. And I would like to issue a FOIA request for records that I believe are held by this department.
You need to leave.
Or what?
You're being unreasonable.
Is that a crime? I don't believe I'm being
And just so
unreasonable.
you know, you are also being recorded audio and visually, so as long
of
as
course.
you're comfortable with that.
I am.
Having your phone recording doesn't intimidate me or bother me in the slightest.
And it shouldn't, sir. It shouldn't. It is a constitutionally protected act, and it
Right.
should not.
All right. Well, you have a good day.
Okay. I would like to submit a request for records, please. No, I don't. I am allowed by Nebraska law to, and the Freedom of Information Act, to submit a request.
Told you the proper procedure. Thank you.
This is going to play great on YouTube, dude. If I don't leave, what's going to happen? Are you threatening to have me trespassed? This is what you get when you ask for information regarding the death of Mr. Andre Murphy. Now you tell me they don't have something to hide.